Jay-Z was pulled into a lawsuit along with Diddy, if y'all remember, of a woman that said when she was like 13, she went to some Diddy after party and got assaulted. Essentially, that was the story from like the after the VMAs back in the day. Her
Yikes.
story started falling apart,
Mhm.
as she did like a TV interview, and people were looking at the facts. It just wasn't adding up. Well, the case got dismissed against both of them with prejudice. Okay, and with prejudice means it's
You can't
permanently
come and
dismissed.
try to. Yep. Hmm.
Can't come back and try to refile the same case.
Right.
So, do you think that this case being dismissed with prejudice this way, um, do you think this happened because Jay-Z wasn't quiet about it and he was fighting it publicly?
It's a combination of power and that, you know, power and the fact that he could uh disprove it because I mean, where is the real proof? And on top of that, I mean, the girl's story was not corroborated by anybody, and including her own father. So it looked crazy.
Nobody, and I said this when we talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like Jay-Z had somebody falsely accuse him. So when some real accusations come, it will not look,
Would be a
valid.
slam dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
this is the same nigga who, now I never believed that he did this.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you tell me that he fuck on underage starlets, little young wannabe singers underage when he was in his late 20s and shit like that,
It's believable
it's
just
a whole
because of the
nother
way we
motherfucking
were
case.
as a
Nigga made a joint album with R. Kelly. You know
I
what they was
mean,
doing.
not even
That's
just R.
probably
Kelly.
that's probably why they got into it on tour. They can say, "Man, give me my little bitch."
Man, what happened to the little 16-year-old bitch I let you have? Like, you supposed to bring the bitch back. I don't know. Her parents looking for her and they calling me. But look, real shit though.
Yeah.
That didn't sound realistic. Like, what, bitch? Like, that don't sound right. So
Nah.
I didn't believe that.
Yeah.
But again, it's not, to me, a smart motherfucker seeing what's going on with Diddy, seeing what's going on with R. Kelly and all that shit. I would also think it's smart to go put some bullshit out there so that it can get disproven. That way,
Yeah.
people are even more on my side when some better or more truthful allegations come my way, if ever.
You
I
want to know what's
believe that.
diabolical
I think he
about
took
that?
care. I think he take care of the people that could hurt him. I think of the people that could hurt him are either dead already or well paid. Foxy Brown should be the brokest fucking bitch in the world. Do you know how many rappers fell the fuck off, and can't sustain their lifestyle, yet Foxy been running around here rich for years
And she defends him. So yeah.
and going to defend him. You get what I'm saying? Who else? I mean, Rihanna, is she gonna say something? Hell no. So I'm just saying, I'm not putting this for show on Jay. I'm just saying nobody that's old enough to remember would think that he didn't do what niggas was doing at that time and didn't even look at it any kind of way. And you got these young chicks around trying, like Monica. You think you think Monica was in the game amongst grown-ups and not getting fucked on? Are you crazy?
Man,
It's very, very possible.
it
I
is
know.
quite
I know the
possible.
times. And what you were gonna say, GMS? What's diabolical?
Um, the diabolical part will be how it was orchestrated if that was the case, because I have a feeling, there's people out there that don't care about scrutiny, don't care about backlash, because they know being smarter is knowing that people don't actually give a fuck. They only care about the moment. And once people stop talking about it, once it stops becoming a headline, once the post stop becoming viral, people drown stories out. So the lawyer that was doing this, the Tony Buzbee guy, if he's a shady lawyer, if he does shady business, I mean, it ain't nothing for Jay to throw a bag over here and say, hey, get this person or have, basically tell her, hey, this will be a good idea because Jay-Z, he has X amount of money. He was here at this time. You can say this, you can do that. And I promise you'll get a payday. And then boom, orchestrated story. Of course, she's not going to be trying to go through with it because she knows it's a lie. So she fucking gets cold feet. She don't want to do this. She want to drop the whole suit. Tony Buzbee asks, oh my God, really? He's good because he got what he needed. Jay got what he needed. Boom, orchestrated, evil plan down the drain.
That's that's honestly very possible, though. I think Jay might be eyeing a defamation suit against that dude. That the Buzbee guy,
the lawyer,
Tony Buzbee.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see if that goes through. If it doesn't go through, if it doesn't actually like see the light of day as far as like the actual like trial, because we'll hear about it if it does happen. Yeah. But if it don't,
see, y'all got to remember, Bill Cosby went to jail with even less, less
evidence
and a much longer time span. So there, without power, Jay would have still been under scrutiny. So he definitely wielded some power to not be brought down or even put in that scenario. You know what I'm saying? But I do respect, because I didn't ever believe it to begin with. But that's what made me think, like, nigga, you put that shit out there on.
It was too fake sounding.
That's the okie doke. Yeah, like that's the okie doke, nigga. Like, I don't even think a lawyer with any half decent sense would thought he had a case. Right. I wouldn't doubt if he not a part of the motherfucking payoff. Like, look, Buzbee, you a shady motherfucker. Come at me with this. I'm gonna come at you with a lawsuit. We're gonna settle out of that quickly. We're gonna have it, all of the details of that not gonna come out. But here's a bag. Come at me with this bitch. Blah, blah, blah. Look, he played chess. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z, he that nigga. He that type of guy. I just don't believe the way they just been making up cases on these niggas and putting them in jail.
Yeah. And
how I was scared for the nigga. I was like, it's looking bad because they can do what they want to do.
And it was working for a long time.
OJ went to jail for going to get his own stolen shit from a motherfucker for 9 years.
Stealing his shit back. Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, Jay, you is a super Mason.
And they had the thieves looking like they was victims and shit.
Real shit.
Right. Real like shit. He did something to them.
So how the fuck do we watch Bill, OJ, R. Kelly, Puffy, and they all got bullshit cases, believe it or not. Even Puffy case some bullshit as far as illegal for this nigga not to have a bail. Like, this is all bullshit.
Yeah.
Do we think he a creepy motherfucker, freaky? Yeah, we do. But legally,
not necessarily illegal.
Yeah, so
I think he just pissed some people off because I'm telling you, the fact that cartel dude sued him, like, how do you sue somebody over illegal goods? Like, you wanted that on the record for some reason. So I feel like there's a lot going on with the Puffy stuff that we don't even realize. They're trying to
they trying to bury that man.
Yes, they are. He pissed somebody off. The Great 1773 said, hell, we saw them rewrite the law to convict Cosby.
And this is more of what he said, because this is a good point too.
AP, now on the flip side, if Jay-Z did engineer this, he ran the risk of people still thinking he's guilty. Sometimes the accusation can be just as damning as the conviction.
But when they already on you, when you see your partner in crime, who you also have been present for a lot of weird shit, go down like a nigga as big as Puffy, I'm sure that was a fucking meeting that went down. Like, how the fuck do we avoid them coming to my house and arresting me, even if it's for questioning?
Well, see, and they already was on Jay's ass. They already was on Jay's ass, like, not just, certain people in the media, but the public. Like, they were already talking about Jay this, Jay that. A lot of people was already talking about how they didn't like Jay-Z, how he was doing this and joining the NFL after trying to talk about boycotting them. And then on top of that, the Jay shit where, what did he do?
Jay got bodies too, Dolores. You better fucking believe that.
With Jay's situation,
allegedly.
Allegedly. We want to say allegedly. Y'all know
that could mean pussy too, though. So
around the time Diddy was going through his thing, what were they saying? Who were they saying was next?
Jay motherfucking Z. That's
so
people were wanting Jay to be next.
But even without help, he had allegations coming.
Right.
So for him to not say nothing, like I gotta shut up, I think the strategy of throwing some fugazi out there was smart if that was the case.
If that was
right. My initial thoughts.
Go ahead.
My initial thoughts with that was what I was just saying as far as people saying he was next. I was like, oh, that's why that lawsuit dropped, because it was perfect time and everybody already have it in their mind, like, oh, Jay-Z's next. If we put out a lawsuit or put out some allegations, they gonna believe it off top.
What y'all need to remember, though, this is the problem. We remember Jay-Z. I'm old enough to know that this nigga had these same allegations his whole motherfucking career.
Yeah.
He was known. We never even doubted whether he was fucking on Foxy Brown. This is niggas my age already knew he got dirt under his nails for this type of shit. So that's why we not like, oh, we want Jay to go down. We remember, motherfucker. Even when they was interviewing like Dame and certain motherfuckers, they was like, they wasn't telling, but they was like telling with their face, like on some haters.
Yeah, they were. But I think
I don't know. What did you look at? Like, I don't know. Did you ask such and such? They was dry snitching on that nigga. Like,
but I think that back in the day, though, if we're being honest about the times, okay, it was just kind of accepted that that's what it was. People didn't look at him as, being nasty, or even now, people weren't like necessarily like he was crazy. Though now the general public, yes, right, is like on this whole thing about the age stuff. But back then, it was just like, okay, yeah.
You absolutely right. But imagine Bill Cosby's when he was doing it, it was even more acceptable. They was at the Playboy Mansion where underage bitches was working and servicing celebrities. It was normal. He is a contemporary with Elvis. Other old people that was fucking and marrying young kids. Bill Cosby is a contemporary of these same old niggas, and he went to jail for this shit.
But his was different. Bill's stuff was less about underage women and more about actual scrape. But it was more about actual scrape, is what I'm saying.
But that was normal too, unfortunately.
I get it. It was the Molly of back then.
It was fucking. And Rick Ross got a fucking song. You get what I'm saying? Like
he do, and it's still wrong just because he got a song. Like, don't say you slipped Molly in my drink, and
she didn't even know it. Like, come on, like what the fuck? Until it got highlighted as bad shit. Now everybody like,
once it got demonized.
Shit. Not to mention flying bitches out became trafficking.
Just imagine how many niggas is still scared that some shit finna pop up on their ass. There's a lot of niggas out here that's moving very careful right now.
Where's Snoop? Where the fuck is? I ain't got IG no more. Where the fuck is Snoop?
He's around, but he's like,
because I ain't seen this nigga in a minute.
His account just stays posting a bunch of random.
shit. It's like a meme page now. It's not like a lot about his personal life. A lot of people mad with him about the election, so he's just like, he just wants to be liked, so he don't really post a lot of opinionated stuff. But he's definitely one that I'm sure things will come back on at some point also. But we'll see. I just think that with the Cosby thing, like I said, his was more about scrape and taking advantage of people that did not want it. Now, of course,
how come them same bitches had a guest spot on the Cosby Show 2 weeks after? That was a one-sided trial, man. That was a one-sided trial, man.
I don't know all the details, but I do know certain things, because even like when Beverly Johnson talked about it, I think her situation happened either while she was on set or it was after she was already had done her guest spot, where she had the situation where her body went limp and he was assaulting her.
I don't know what prostitutes do to get through fucking on people that they don't want to fuck.
What?
They get high as fuck. If somebody unattractive and they gotta push themselves through it to get the money, they get high. They don't want to be present mentally.
Yeah.
Them bitches was willingly taking the motherfucking drug. You cannot convince me he was sneaking them bitches.
You cannot convince me that he didn't, because as a woman, I've had some questionable things happen.
Y'all always blame the niggas when y'all wake up and the nigga gone and your pussy and ass sore. It wasn't his fault. You
Whose
know
fault
what
is
the
it?
fuck was
Don't do
You
that.
are
That's
fucking
not
women
your
always
crazy.
try to act like I
no.
don't know how, because I would have never let them fuck, bitch. How am I at your apartment, bitch? Like, how did I get here, motherfucker?
It's one
You
thing if
thought we
you
was finna do a
no.
puzzle, bitch? What the
It's
fuck did
one
you
thing
think we
if
was
you
gonna
go into a consensual situation and y'all want to get lit and you want to,
listen?
because
This is why I have such a hard
AP,
time
let me finish
accepting
what I'm
women's
saying.
stories. Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, let me finish
Okay,
what I'm
okay.
saying.
Put a fucking hurry it up. Let's go.
Okay.
Come on now.
All right. So
Speed it up.
what I'm shut your ass up. All I'm saying is
Cut to the
that
chase.
it's one thing if y'all want to get lit and we want to drink and we want to smoke or we want to do our drugs to, because whatever certain things do, make things heighten. That is one thing. But if I'm, in there with you, if you're in my dressing room, I just did your show, we're talking, you hand me some wine, I could drink wine and I shouldn't expect that some should be in my shit if I didn't ask for that. And that's kind of what happened with her, according to what she said. So I'm not gonna say, oh, she just wanted that. I'm not gonna assume that.
I
That's
agree
fucked
with
up.
you. I agree with you. I need to believe that that's what happened. I need to believe that that's
Why?
how it went down. Because what
What
makes
would
more
make you
sense,
believe it?
what makes more, if Bill even would have better evidence
Mhm.
other than women 30 years later saying I had a glass of wine and I felt weird and all of a sudden I fucked Bill Cosby. I don't believe that shit like that, because what really be happening is them bitches know the power and the opportunity coming to them, and they might even partake in some narcotics because they like, he's unattractive, I don't really want to fuck him, but I got to get through this shit, so fuck it. I believe that
Yeah.
more than I believe him.
Yeah.
Here, bitch, here's some Kool-Aid.
I believe that happened, but
Like, get the
listen,
fuck out of
AP,
here.
this is the thing, okay? A lot of women, this is the whole thing because
I
we
got
all
another
know
point to make.
the way
So
that
hurry it up.
Bill Cosby's whole shit came apart was because of a joke, right? Because of Hannibal Buress making a joke that somebody recorded and put on Facebook, and the rest was history. But his joke was about the fact that Bill Cosby always talking about black men need to pull their pants up, and he's like, you need to stop scraping women and putting shit in their drinks or whatever, because it was an open secret in Hollywood. And I've seen Bill Maher talk about that over the years, and he had talked about a friend of his that happened to before that joke came out. People knew this shit about this nigga. I'm not gonna make excuses for someone,
Now that
and
is the best point you made, and I
and
agree that that was probably a thing. But this is what I'm telling you: the same way Bill Maher knew about that, the same way everybody else in Hollywood knew about that, the bitches knew about that. I'm trying to like, motherfuckers be knowing a lot more what they getting into. And then they get into it, and then when things don't go their way, now it's let me tell. And this is what I was going to say about, I'm not defending Scrape at all. I think that's some hoe ass shit. You shouldn't have to do all that.
yeah.
But my thing is, I've watched women lie on niggas that I absolutely know for a fact this bitch was the one pursuing this nigga. This was the bitch trying to fuck on dude. This is the bitch. And as soon as it didn't go her way, as soon as he shitted on her, as soon as he told some other people, or as soon as she got looked at or labeled as a hoe for fucking the whole team, now the whole team is rapists? Like, no, I seen this shit too many times. Bitches
You know
need to
what?
walk this shit off unless you got some better proof than 30 years later having a fucking story.
I'm not gonna say walk it off, but what I'm gonna say is to your point. No, seriously, to your point. Okay, like I rewatched The Wire about 5 or 6 times at this point in my life because it's an amazing show. And in season 4, which is about the kids, okay, and being in school and how basically you get into the lifestyle of being whatever in the hood, that happened where a girl went into the bathroom with a couple of boys. They had one of the kids look out. One of the main kids from that season was looking out. I guess the girl tried to talk to those boys the next day, and they was like, "Man, get fuck out of here," right, kind of thing. So then she told the teachers that they scraped her in the bathroom, and that Randy was part of it. And he was like, "What? She wanted to go in there. They asked me to look out." And so I do remember seeing that. A lot of that show comes from real life, so I'm not gonna discount what you're saying. because I literally remember seeing that and like, holy shit.
I'm not discounting that men don't do shit like this.
Yes.
But I believe the way they used to move in those circles, they got to trade. Same thing with Diddy. They got to trade. Take what you like. You want red pills, blue pills, pink pills, weed, coke. What the fuck you?
I didn't know what the fuck a quaalude was until they started talking about the fucking Bill Cosby shit, and I was like, a quaalude? I thought that was like some random shit that niggas was taking once in a while. Then you find out that was the main drug of choice back in that time.
Back then, they don't even make them no more. Yeah.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm not saying that he probably didn't get too comfortable being a creep.
Yeah.
And somebody brought up Hugh Hefner being a creep. It was so normal that even the bitches knew what they was getting into, is what I'm trying to say. It was so common that even the bitches knew what they was getting into.
But thank God we ain't never had to do that, because motherfucking women loved us naturally. We didn't have to slip no shit in their drinks to try to get no pussy, because that shit came to us.
You are in Minnesota, though.
Hey, man. Shit.
Like, what does that mean?
God bless Minnesota, nigga. He said when they see a 6'5", 200-something pound black nigga, they gonna throw the pussy.
Oh my God, he's black. I could be a gang member.
He's a big one.
If I fuck him, I'm all of a sudden I get street cred for fucking.
But listen, I will say too, like when it comes to Beverly Johnson, okay, because I keep going to her. She came out, I think, because of the uproar that has started happening, and I think what she was trying to do, it probably was something that had been bothering her over the years. And I could say, as a woman that's been sexually assaulted before, that shit does stay with you for your life. And people do say, well, why you didn't say nothing here? Listen, there's a lot of reasons why you let shit go when men and young boys, even teenagers, whatever, age things happen, do things to you. You don't necessarily tell everybody, yeah, he touched me like that, or yeah, he pinned me in the corner and did whatever he did. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why you don't just come out and tell those things. But then when you see other people start to tell their story, especially if you got the same person did it to you, and you feel like, you know what, I can lend some maybe credibility to this because people are familiar with my face, they know me, and maybe I can actually help like legitimize this situation. So you know what, I'm gonna come out and just share my story. I'm not trying to get money from him. I'm not trying to get anything from him now, but I just want to lend credibility.
If I could prove that the woman that's accusing you 30 years later continued a friendship or relationship with you past that traumatizing event, that should discredit her for, because if you're so violated, you should hate my guts. You should never want to see me, never want to work with me, never want to be around me. If I can prove that you continued a friendship or relationship with me, even if it wasn't sexual, after some said event, bitch, then you shouldn't be able to go to court. That's crazy.
In my mind, when I would look at stuff like that, I do agree with you. But when I've seen some information on the way that women that are, and men, victims, okay, how they think, you'll be surprised. I mean, you look at someone that's getting their ass beat by somebody. Just because I'm sticking next to this man don't mean he didn't black my eye this morning or yesterday. Didn't mean he didn't knock teeth out of my shit.
Hold on.
It didn't have to be my fault.
That's terrible. That's terrible, right? But is there no accountability for going back to a place that you can get away from? That sometimes them niggas be kicking bitches' asses and telling them to get the fuck out, do not come back.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come back, I swear, I'm sorry, I swear to God, bitch, I just put a foot in your ass for 30 minutes.
Well, what about
these bitches come back and it's this nigga fault? Like, I ain't saying he should.
What about the
put
kids
his hands
and
on
teenagers
her,
that
but
are getting
the
beat
woman
at home
get
by
any?
their parents?
You said what?
What about the kids and the teenagers that are getting beat at home by their parents?
That's a whole nother fucking story. That's a whole
but they
because they don't have the choice.
They don't have an option to leave.
Why don't they have an option? They have an option to call the police. They have an option to they can have any option. But a lot of people feel that type of.
That's the same, bro.
No, but it's still a trauma based thing, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's
again, loving your mom or pops who was abusive. A lot of people continue to love their parents even though they were put through hell. Yeah. But they don't want. As soon as they can get away, the motherfuckers get away. Right. They like, I'm done. I love you, but I can't. The trauma that this bitch caused me or this man caused me.
Yeah.
But when it comes to relationships, women refuse to take any accountability for their choices.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a choice, unless that's the
choice.
type of nigga that is at your job with a gun, or he's making those kind of life-threatening threats. That's who I give a pass to. I don't give a bitch a pass who you showing all your black eyes one fucking post. The next post you showing his happy birthday poster. This the realest man, and I love this nigga, and we done been together for 12 years. And shout out to this nigga. Like, bitch, I don't want to hear this. You a crazy bitch on your own.
They make it hard for sure for women that do have the capacity or the strength, whatever it is, to say enough of this situation, you know, whether it's assault or whether it's actual, like, you know, domestic violence, whatever it is, they can walk away or press the charges or do things right away. It's very complicated. And I know
they got women online right now. Matter of fact, I just saw a little video of the young girl said, if I break up with you, I need you to come slam me into the ground. Some crazy, like, basically pick her up and slam the fuck out of her. Mm-hmm. That's the type of nigga she wants.
Yeah. Yikes. But do you think that's someone that has that her mental is normal? Do you think that's someone with a right state of mind saying something like that?
What if the nigga ain't hitting her hard enough and she's saying, you a bitch? And he's like, I'm trying not to hit you. I'm trying not to.
But these are two damaged individuals.
You keep telling me to hit you.
My point is toxic overall.
I'm just saying, like, nobody, listen, I don't get to do that. Men don't get to do that. Young boys don't get to do this shit. We go to jail. We 14. Our brains ain't developed. Oh, you going to jail for life for selling drugs or robbing somebody. Yes. I'm a kid, bitch. No, you're not. You a grown up. But these bitches can be 50 and still doing life-threatening shit to themselves, and they don't got, all of a sudden they get to say it was some other shit.
Yeah.
No, they hold men at a ridiculous different standard when it comes to this kind of shit.
They do, and I'm not.